How y'all doing? I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one's called Uptimes. Yes. Look, this was back in the 80s, in the early 80s. Uh, this was back in the 80s. I had to be like 20 or 21 then when I got this job at the Chicago Tribune, the Chicago Tribune Freedom Center, and I was working there, and I was making pretty good progress. So I was working there at the center, and then all of a sudden, everyone went on strike. Yes, everyone went on strike, but I couldn't go on strike because, first of all, I wasn't in the union yet. Second of all, I was broke and I needed the money. Yeah, I needed the money, man. So I had to cross the picket line. So I didn't know that when they go on strike, you will have to work overtime. So I said, hey, maybe there'd be some big checks around, big checks. I have big money coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Any- Anyway, I had big money coming in and stuff like that. So I was crossing the picking line. So this particular day, I ended up having to work 16 hours. 16 hours, long hours. But that was back in the time when they can make you work that many hours. Nowadays they got it regulated like, okay, he can only work 10 hours or something like that. They didn't have it regulated back then. So I was working a 16-hour shift. So I couldn't stay woke. And I fooled around and got a hold to some pills, and they were called Uptime. Now, I don't know about the Uptime nowadays. I think they got something. If you Google it, you can find it. It's called Uptime. It's like a pill, but they don't got the pill form now. They just got the drinks or something like that. Anyway, the pills, they were big pills, like horse pills, big pills. So I had them, but I kept looking at the pills and looking at the pills. And I finally figured out, why not? Why not? What can it hurt? It ain't gonna do nothing but keep me woke. And that's what I want. I want to stay woke. So I took two of them, and then drank me a beer. I was drinking back then, so I drank a beer with it, and it was cold outside that day, real cold. So I drove to work, and as soon as I hit the floor, getting ready to work, all of a sudden it was like something said, boom! I got all this energy all of a sudden, and I was running back and forth, doing everything. So it's getting late into the night, and uh, I think I got off at. I was gonna get off at 5 in the morning. You know, that's my shift was gonna end at 5 in the morning, but I worked every bit of it. I'm telling you, I put in work. So then all of a sudden, when I was leaving, I don't know if it wore off or whatever. Once it wore off, man, I began to crash all of a sudden. So I was driving home, and the lines looked like they was merging into each other like this. And man, I was so sleepy. And then the soft music was playing, and I had the heat on in the car. So I was dozing off, and then I could hear the ridges You know, like if you go off on the shoulder of the road, it said, you know, just to wake you up. You know, man, I went across that thing, and I woke up, and I was this far away from the guardrail. So I pulled over to the side and was taking snow, throwing it in the back of my shirt, throwing it all in my shirt like this, standing on the side of the road, you know, trying to wake up, trying to wake myself up till I could get home. Man, then a state trooper pulled me over and said, "What you doing here? What you doing here?" I told him, I said, "Look, sir, I'm trying to stay woke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to pull over here." He said, "Well, what you just open your jacket." I said, "I don't have nothing." He thought I was putting something in my jacket or something. So he opened it up and saw the snow outside of there. He said, "What you think you are, a frosted snowman or something?" Oh, good. But man, that was so embarrassing, man. But anyway, I convinced him that I was trying to stay woke. So he said, "Well, go ahead and be careful. You know, be careful." So I drove off. Uh, Through the grace of God, I made it home. I made it home. And when I got in the house, I crashed out and I slept all the way to the next evening. Yeah, I slept all the way to the next evening. Then after that, I took those up times. I said, throw them down in the garbage can because I don't know, man. Look, if y'all gonna take something like that, but I think this thing was high in caffeine and a lot of other vitamins that keep you woke and stuff like that. If y'all gonna do that, man, think about after it wears off because you're gonna crash down immediately. I don't mess with none of that stuff then. Now, not anymore, you know. But when I did, man, that was one of the most terrible things that I've done because I couldn't stay woke. I completely was out of my mind. I was thinking about pulling over to the side of the road and going to sleep like that, you know. But sure enough, the state troopers would have got on me then. They'd have thought I was drunk, had me doing field sobriety tests and everything. So, mm, mm, mm. Man, that Uptime. If have y'all ever heard of it before? It's called Uptime. It was a pill you can take to stay woke, and it's supposed to give you stamina and energy and stuff like that. But in this case, when it wore off, it crashed. You know, I'm telling you, man, I'm kind of sleepy right now. I wish I had something right now. I don't mess with it. Next time, what you guys need to do is read the bottle. Read the bottle. Read the back of it and see what ingredients it has in it, and then you assess whether you want to take it or not. I know I didn't read the bottle. All I saw was Uptime, and I took it to stay woke, to stay up. Yep. All right, now make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share with your enemies. Adios. Salamat. Uptime.